Hello, y'all. Welcome to Bam Bam Raw TV. This is Bam Bam, aka the 411 Giant. I want you to hit that like button, the subscribe button, and that bell icon for me. Look here, on this episode, we're going to talk about a FALN member, Louis Rosa, Lil Louis we call him. This was what they call a militant organization, but in actuality, these particular ones was college students, and they was alleged to be responsible for blowing up over 100 bases over in Puerto Rico. And they blew up 100 bases, and sometimes, rarely was there's casualties, but it was in some incidents of the bombing. They said it was about over all the bombings, it was maybe 7 bodies. And again, these youngsters they was college students, and they was it was college students who was allegedly doing this. So now the alleged reason for this was that America at that time having conflict with Castro over in Cuba, and America was building all these military bases over there in Puerto Rico, building it on on they on they soil, their homeland, where their families, their mamas, their sisters, and their brothers at. Now they building all these bases here, and they beefing with Castro. Puerto Rico is easier to hit than hitting the Central America. So if they keep messing with Castro, it will be the assumption that he gonna destroy those bases first. So when he take out those bases, he gonna take out their families. He gonna take out their people. And they didn't feel like the America was giving them the regards that they deserved concerning that they wasn't handling their business with the tactic that they cared about their people. Now I didn't get to meet all these. I met one, Louis Rosa. Me and Louis was in Leavenworth together. I was actually in USP Leavenworth with Louis when his sentence got commuted in 1999. I was there from 98 to 2002, and I was there with him. And when they commuted his sentence, and he came after they commuted his sentence and everything, him and Ernie came down and they told me about it. I knew they went up and they told me about it, and that's when he gave me the picture that you see being shown right here. This personal pictures. My pictures are personal that people personally gave to me themselves. So he gave me this picture and everything, and as you'll see, President for the allegations of being bombers. They had a life sentence. All of them had life sentences going on, but they sentence was commuted by Clinton in 1999, and they commuted it. And they let all of them out except one, and I think he had like about 5 more years to do. But the allegation again is they was blowing up these military bases, and they was doing it in a militant organization, and they was under FALN. And Louis though was a very, I mean, most of these guys are smart, you know what I'm saying? People think criminals or people who do certain stuff are stupid, but I think we more emotional than we are stupid. But Louis, while in jail, Louis steady fought for a lot of things, and that's how I got in touch with him, because when I got there, he was always putting stuff together. And he's another short guy. Louis not much taller than me. Love, he go work out and everything, come back, and me and him always chop it up because he seen that I was kind of like, when something happened with Louisiana and then something happened with some other cars or some places from other, I had a rapport. I try to have a rapport with most of the leaders of the cars. I didn't fool no everybody from no one spot, but I had to try to have rapport so that if it's a situation, we could try to deal with it before we go to war. And I think he lacked it that way I moved on there. I didn't move out of fear. I moved because I wanted what's best for the unit, man. I mean, we can't do nothing. We can't make no money. We can't do nothing if we locked down all the time. So Louis got together, and that's when he asked me would I be a part of putting black hours together for him that they had. Most of them had already been working on it. but I don't think him and Monster got to talk. I don't think I didn't think he felt like Monster was the type of person for him to talk to, because you know. So anyway, he got at me and asked me, hey man, would y'all be part of this Black August thing with us? Get some of your people to come. He didn't bring a few people going on. So I tell him, break it down to me exactly how y'all doing this. I said, because I have done this and participated in this at other places. It's generally everybody's welcome, but it's by people of color that or that come in there. We talk about some of the things that we done went through, some of the things that didn't happen, and some of the different reasons these things happen. But we also take what we know or what we done learned about our interaction, and we take that and try to show each other how we need to interact on the yard. If it's a problem here, a problem here, a problem here. Because when we lock down, the police make more money, they do less work, and we suffer sitting behind the cells in our cells with taking a shower every 2 or 3 days, eating sack lunches, and so on and on. So that's what we was on. So they got it signed up where they rented the chapel. They got the chapel. When I rented the chapel, they got permission to use the chapel. So during the month of August, we go down there every weekend on a Saturday. On a Saturday, we would go down there and we would get up Puerto Ricans, Spanish, Native Americans, Guamanians, anybody go up there. White guys were welcome to come and sit if they want to listen and hear what was going on like that. Could even add their 2 cents to it or whatever going on. But you could not, number one, we wouldn't have told them they couldn't come because there may be some things they need to know, you understand? But still, you cannot, you couldn't exclude them if we wanted to, which that was not the case. So anyway, we get down there, we talk, we get up, we had a little program where you give some enlightenment, you tell a little joke, but you get some enlightenment on the history of people of color who have suffered, people of color who have contribute to their own suffering, some who has not contributed to their own suffering, but have overcame it and going on. You go through Douglass, from Frederick Douglass to George Jackson to Che Guevara, we just went through everything. We explored every avenue of that, and it kept a better communication on the yard. You know what I'm saying? When a man can feel your pain and you feel his pain, and you understand why he think the way he do about you, even though you had nothing to do with it. You understand? We tell the story about the Buffalo Soldiers, all these different things. As I talk about Leonard Peltier later, the leader of the AIM, American Indian Movement, and me and Peltier was at Leonard Peltier was at two penitentiaries together, but he spoke, I'll tell you in his podcast what he said at that meeting. But it kind of touched your heart. You had to look around and going on. But this man been in jail the rest of his life for the second battle of wounded knee. He had cancer when I left there, and they wasn't trying to let him get no treatment. Rosa, one of the 11 that was commuted, that was FALN members, and they was the one that was blowing up the bases over there in Puerto Rico, because they felt like having them bases over there was endangering their people when they having a war, and when they having this antagonizing thing going back and forth with Castro. And they did what they felt like they had to do to protect their people, but that's the allegations that was made toward them. I know what I'm saying. I don't know if the allegation is true or not, but I know that they home now, and they no doubt doing them and the rest of his co-defendant doing something positive. I think the last one stayed in, refused to accept the commutation because it was a clause in there that they couldn't associate and mingle with each other. So if you can't associate and mingle with each other, they're basically saying they would have to disband and they wouldn't be able to work on their future projects together. I don't think what Lewis' head is right now, I don't, when he got out, because it was in '99, I don't think he would have he would have been on something negative like that because he about a lot of positive stuff. So I think he would fought just as hard to keep his people safe, to keep his people united, to keep his people focused on taking care of their homes and taking care of themselves. But he would do it in a positive manner. Now that he done grown, I think it will be if he even did what they said he do, but I think it would be more constructive toward feeding the people, enlightening the people, schooling the people, teaching the people, building things where people can have their own, where they can feel good about what they got, and therefore they're willing to put effort into keeping these things up. I think that's the way he will be moving, and I'm pretty sure he's been doing some positive things since he's been out there. As you see the picture that he gave me, show you the picture that he gave me before he left and everything when his sentence was commuted. And I wish him the well, man, and I wish him and all his people well, and I got a homeboy down here, Puerto Rican, and he's his bottom boy to the heart. I love him. I mean, love him. And the dude is, he the truth. He's the truth. All right, then. We send much love. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell icon, and look forward to some of my episodes coming up because some of these episodes going to start once I give you the foundation. All this is for a reason, the foundation of who I know. Then it's going to merge together. You're going to see why I was, how I was able to sustain who I was in there, and all that on later stories and going on, how, God forbid, you don't go to the Fed, but how you can circumvent and survive and sustain also. That's what the important thing is getting to. Hopefully this won't be necessary. All right then. This Bamm, aka the 411 Giant.